All right, stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Pat Croce, and this is the American Cancer Society's HEALED Community Gathering. And it's going to be a wonderful hour for your joyous pleasure because over the past year, this is our 1-year celebration. Over the past year, we've had almost 100 guests, from medical specialists to survivors of all different diagnoses of cancers. And we wouldn't be here without the help of 6ABC as our media partner, our limited partners, which are all of our leadership partners who have helped me raise the $2 million. And each and every one of you who went to ACSHealed.com, received our bracelet. We got to get you one of these, Dikembe. With the green bead, that means we're all in this together. That green bead is colorblind. It's just pure health, harmony, healing, and unity. And again, I thank you. I thank you. Oh, can I have my bell? Please, Lauren, my bell. It should be right there. Every gathering, Dikembe, here's how we start. Thank you.
Yes.
A moment of stillness. Before I introduce our guests, it's just a moment of stillness. I want to invite you into this sacred space that we're going to share together. All I want you to do is gently and lovingly place your attention on the sound of this bell. Now, you don't realize it, but during this moment, this present moment, you had no stress, no psychological suffering, because you weren't in time. There was no past, no future. We together shared the sacred moment of the present moment, in the now. And now it gives me the pleasure to introduce one of my favorite people in the whole world, the humanitarian of the world, a global ambassador for health, the NBA's ambassador. He is the president and executive CEO of the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation. There's stuff here that there's so much I want to say about Dikembe, but I'll say it as we're talking. But also, later on in the show, we're going to have Dr. Erika Rees-Punia coming live from Atlanta, who is our exercise physiologist who's heading up this HEAL, health and energy through active living every day. And here's a lot of 7.2 feet of energy and activity and health. Dikembe Mutombo, welcome.
How you doing, Pat?
I'm great. Great to have you here at Meditation Hill.
Thank you for having me.
You kidding me? What a great way to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. And I want to talk about the hospital.
Yes.
I want to talk about everything you're doing in the Congo, everything you're doing regarding
everything I'm trying to do.
Even what you're trying to do, but you're doing.
Yes,
you're
sir.
one of those rare ones who's doing. But before that, everyone should know that Dikembe Mutombo was an NBA Hall of Famer, or is an NBA Hall of Famer. He, in my estimation, the greatest defensive player in the world, ever. There it is. Okay. The finger wag. Let's start there. Let's start with the finger. No. Let's start there. You know what? Let's go before the finger wag.
Yes.
You came to the United States in 87?
87.
87 to go to Georgetown University.
And to study medicine.
And then what happened?
I did have a life changing after I got there. I was pursued by the university to see if I can be on the basketball team.
So did you play basketball before that?
By a year and a half in high school, a little bit.
So wait, did you hear that? He played a year and a half of basketball in high school. Now he's going to Georgetown for medicine. What happens?
Everything got the turn, and I was approached by the dean who asked me what I was doing here. I should be in the basketball team, and they took me to see the president of the university. Then they took me to Coach Tom to meet Coach Thompson. The rest of that is the story. And they asked me if I can join the team, and I said, no, maybe next year. And the following year, I was part of the team and started learning the game from John Thompson.
You learned the game of basketball at Georgetown.
Yes.
The home of Alonzo Mourning
Patrick Ewing.
Ewing, and our Allen Iverson.
Yes.
Maybe like-
Little air.
Little A, your little brother. Well, you know what? I can tell you this, and we may talk about this later.
Yes.
This was my saving grace. The piece at the hub of the wheel during that 2001 season when Allen Iverson was the forensic circumference of the wheel.
Yes.
I don't know what's that ringing.
We're getting some call.
I don't know whoever's phone this is. It's not my phone. Not your phone.
Yes. They need to put that phone on vibrate.
So he was the peace. You truly were the peaceful presence in that locker room in 2001. But I'm jumping all over the place. But let's go back to Georgetown. So you're learning the game of basketball with Coach Thompson,
Yes.
one of the greatest coaches on the planet.
He was a great man.
He was a great man. And
Great
then,
father too.
why do you say that?
Oh, because he considered each one of his players like he was his children, and he did care for them. He made sure that he can do the best he can to give them all the package that they need for them to succeed in life. So that's what every father is supposed to do.
And what did that father do for you?
I think he took care of me. He looked after me. He made sure that I didn't get in trouble. He protected me, made sure that I went to school and I did what I was supposed to do to make sure that I have a better life after this college.
So how well did you play basketball your first year?
I played like 3-5 minutes a game, so I don't know how you're going to say how good it was. But my career didn't go fast as many people was thinking, but everything changed because I did have a special game my sophomore year when Alonzo Mourning, who was a big star, a superstar coming out from the Olympic team and all of that stuff as a freshman, got in a foul trouble against St. John University. And Coach Thompson didn't know who to put in the game because we were still like in the first quarter of the game. He got already in 2 or 3 fouls. And Coach Thompson looked at the bench and this was a young African guy sitting at the end of the bench. He screamed, "Africa, Africa, come here." I was like, "Me?" I said, "Coach, you're going to put me in this," and it was a Saturday noon game, and it was about 20,000 people at the Capitol Center. And I was put in a game. He said, "I don't need you to do nothing. Just play defense, rebound and block shot." And the Pat, I will tell you what, I went there for 19 minutes and a half, and I broke the NCAA record with a 12 block shot, and that's when Dikembe Mutombo was born.
You're in that game?
It was that game. It took one game for my life to change right away. I went from sitting in the end of the bench to start playing 20 minutes, and after a few games, I start playing. I start the games.
Proof positive that dreams do come true.
You have to be positive because you don't know when the moment is coming.
That's it.
Or you don't know when the moment is coming. And you just have to remain calm in the life sometimes and then be faithful. And you have a strong faith. And that's what kept me going.
And what you did was your very best in the time allocated
Yes.
at 20 minutes. And then you said you specialized. You made that part of a specialty that everyone had to know Dikembe Mutombo could play defense.
Because I think Coach Thompson saw something special in me. He knew that I was gifted when it comes to defense. And he used to tell me, "Son, you have so many players, but you were gifted when it comes to your ability to play defense." And he didn't know if it did have something to do with me playing soccer as a young man or what. But he said I was like much smarter when it comes to defense. I can read the ball very well. And I went there and did what I was supposed to do.
So defense is usually thought of as the dirty end of the job, where the sexy end is the offense, but you made the defensive
The beauty of the game.
the beauty of the game. And then as you went on, take us to like your senior year.
Oh, that's when my career just exploded. I was ranked as a defense player in the country, defense player in the biggest conference, and I broke the school records. And in 3 years, I went and broke all the records.
For rebounding and block shots?
Rebounding and block shots. So my trajectory was very good. Everybody knew that I was going to do some damage somehow.
So take us into the lane. I have you here. I would love to ask you, take us into the lane, and what makes you think you can block that shot?
I always say that it's my gut. My gut. When I play basketball, I was much smarter. I can read the guy, and I was a little bit intimidated. I used to intimidate guys with my presence and my look. I cannot look at myself in the mirror, but I can look at a guy and make the guy fear of me. And that was me. That was Dikembe Mutombo. I used to give somebody a look when he's dribbling the ball, and you see the guy just change the direction. No, I don't want to mess with that guy.
But you had to have the speed as well and the agility to be able to time it perfectly for
And
those.
the ability to jump and to read the ball very well. Otherwise, you're going to fall out.
Right. Or break your hand on the rim.
Yes. I was very gifted, Pat. I was very gifted. I did have a good coach. Then I was mentored by a great man. First I was mentored by Coach Ewing, great man who trained Patrick Ewing, who trained others. The man who have the chance, the ability, and fortunate enough to play alongside with Bill Russell in Boston Celtics when they won a championship back in the 70s. And he was a backup center for Bill Russell. So he learned a lot from watching Bill Russell. So he brought all the lessons that he learned from Bill Russell to us. And he brought Bill Russell to come talk to me when I was going to the NBA. And Bill Russell came in and spent like a week with me. He told me, son, I watch you for a long time, and you have a chance and ability to becoming one of the great defense players that play this game. I was like, this is a man who won 11 championships, broke all the NBA records, telling me I'm going to be better than him. I was like, this must be amazing. I must be doing something good. And I respect his advice, and I went there, did everything he told me, and there I am.
So would you say your listening, as well as your athletic ability, your listening helped to propel you to success?
Yes. Sometimes you need an advice. You need somebody to mentor you in life. You need somebody just to talk to you. We all are gifted with the talent, the ability that God gave to us, but God doesn't stop us for taking a moment in a silence just to listen to others and to see how we've been appreciated over there by the society, or what can we take from the society, and I didn't.
So now you're in the NBA, and I'm just going to fast forward to 2001. So it's 2001.
That was the year you brought me here.
That was the year we bring you to Philadelphia. But I know, so I have to go to the All-Star Weekend. No, that's where we have to go, because it's All-Star Weekend, and the East is coached by Larry Brown, because we have the best record in the East. So therefore, the head coach gets to coach the East End. There's Allen Iverson as part of the East team. He was our All-Star.
Yes.
And you played for the East. And at the time, you were playing for Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Now, I remember the East was losing, and all of a sudden, Dikembe Mutombo looks like some man wired out of off this planet. He gets kind of like 20 rebounds.
I think I did get like 29 rebounds.
29 rebounds.
Yes, I remember that, yes.
And now people, listen, every rebound that he gets, that's preventing the other team from getting the ball and putting two up. And then you had what? Half dozen block shots?
Yes.
And that's definitely 12 points you prevented them from getting. Allen Iverson gets the MVP of the game. Larry Brown, after this game, comes home. And we had a Larry Brown law. Don't listen to Larry Brown for 24 hours. Don't trade for anyone he wants. Don't trade anyone from our team that he wants for 24 hours because he's so emotional.
Yes.
Well, he came back to Philadelphia. He was in love.
I want to know about the talk you guys had after he came back. I want to hear that today.
He was in love. He's talking to me and Billy King. He was in love with Dikembe Mutombo. We got to get Dikembe Mutombo. Is Dikembe Mutombo, can you hear it? Is it okay? Is Dikembe Mutombo, is he available? Is he? And he's looking at me, and I know nothing.
Yes.
Really, I did nothing other than, he's the coach. And then at the time, they start talking. But that week, I think it was a week. It was only a week later that we get to
it was about 5-6 days.
I get a phone call. It's Billy King and Larry Brown. I said, Pat, we want to pull the trigger. Can we pull the trigger? Now he's asking me because they're going to get rid of Nazi Mohammed,
Yes.
Theo Ratliff, Peter some.
You gave up a lot of players.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 players. And I said, Coach, if you think Dikembe Mutombo can help us get to the promised land, whatever you think. And that was it, Dikembe.
I think you knew what you were doing. I think you knew.
It was, but he came back it was like the most wonderful first date that he wanted to get married right after.
You know what? I always laugh because in the halftime of the All-Star game, when we start making a run, and there was about 5 minutes before the game was over. Larry Brown looked at me. He said, "Son, you coming with me to Philadelphia?"
I did. I don't know if you can say that. That might be tampering.
I was like, Coach, the game is not over yet. Can we talk about it? He said, I never see a guy can do something like this. You're just getting any ball and preventing anybody from scoring. And from that, I knew something was going on.
Wow. So his phone call to me was nothing. It was a jest because he had that.
He had already made a call.
So now let's fast forward because there's so much we want to talk about your humanitarian and everything. Like I see, ABC's Person of the Week, Essence Magazine's 2001 Achiever, 2001. Remember that year?
Yes.
So then you come. Well, you're also Sporting News #1 good guy. We can also talk about that. But let's go with your Achiever. So you come in, and now we make it into not only into the first round, into the second round, and each one 4 games against Indiana we win. Finally, we beat Indiana for the 2 previous seasons. Reggie Miller.
Nobody didn't think we was going to go all the way.
No. And then, remember Vince Carter? That's Game 7 in Toronto.
That was good. After coming from the graduation.
Yes. And then, again, Game 7 against Ray Allen and the Milwaukee Bucks. You have another all-star game. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I made a coach call to leave the Milwaukee, the 76.
What was that?
I'm saying by beating Milwaukee,
right?
I made Coach call to retire. But he always said that his success he did face Dikembe Mutombo. He was in Seattle Supersonic. He was eliminated by Dikembe Mutombo, and he came to Milwaukee when everybody think Milwaukee was going to win everything, and he was stopped again by Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh, that's funny.
That was just me.
All I know is that that game, you had about 20 rebounds and about 7 block shots, if not more. And it was a close game. So just imagine how many points you stole from Milwaukee and you gave us the chance to make.
Yes.
I mean, it was truly a remarkable game. The city of Philadelphia just exploded.
But I always say the 6th man of the 76er was the fans of Philadelphia. And they are the reason why we did have a lot of success in 2001.
Yes.
And I think we found the fans and we found your passion because you drove those fans to that direction, Pat. People can say whatever they want to say, but you have something to do with the way our fans was able to embrace us. And I tell people, I tell my children especially, I tell everybody that I come in encounter with, you have a lot of things to do with our success. And we want you to know that we as a players who was lucky and fortunate enough to play for the organization that you was running, and we always thank you for
Thank
it.
you.
It means a lot, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I remember running down, and I was on the side of the court, 10, 9, and it's getting down to 1. So I was going to beat everyone out. I ran to center court and jumped as high as these skinny white legs could go. And I hugged you in the air. I barely got around your neck. And it was just a moment of joyful celebration. And that became the cover of the Daily News.
But I never see a team president running on the court and jumping on the players. And you are something else.
It was just, you know why? Because I was born and bred in Philadelphia, and it meant so much.
You are the happiest man that nobody ever see. You never see one of the top executives in the NBA history who was happy for his team winning like that. And you show that. You really love your team.
Oh, and I loved each one of you. You know that. I would go to bat for each and every one of you.
Yes.
It didn't matter because you were my brothers in give so we can show it. Okay.
Oh my God, I can see this. Look at you. You look taller than me here.
I told you I had to jump as high as I could.
And I look at you, were not jumping, you were standing on something. Are you sure?
Yeah, the crowd of people that were trying to get to your knees. That's the beauty of it.
Oh, yes, man. You know what? I have this picture in my office for the last 20 years. I have a beautiful office in Atlanta where I go do my workout for my charity. And when you walk there, the first picture you see me and Pat.
Oh, well,
People always ask me, who's that guy? I say, somebody. It was a friend come from the state.
And this hangs in my workshop, my woodworking workshop where I live.
And the title, did you see? This feels great.
This feels great. Okay, now take me to the initiation, the origin of the finger whack.
When I came to the NBA pad, I was blocking shots, but I felt like I was not gaining the respect that I wanted. Then I told myself, maybe giving the people the finger wave will tell
so
them
you
to.
thought this?
I thought at first I used to shake my head every time I blocked a shot and tell people, no, no, no. Then I say, no, people are not getting it. Waving my finger maybe will make them stay away. And I started doing it.
When was that?
1991 or 92, somewhere around there.
Well, you wagged your finger an awful lot in those 18 years in the NBA.
Yes, remember, I was the second rookie to make the All-Star. First rookie to play in the All-Star game because David Robinson made it, but he was not in the league because he had to serve some time in the military. So I was like the first rookie to play. So it turned out to be good. And I established myself right away.
And so the no.
Not today, not in my house.
And it became now, it's passed on down generations. I saw Embiid do it.
He copying the brother.
Now, is there anyone in the NBA in your 18 years that you felt you were most competitive with?
I would say that I did try to follow the footsteps of Hakeem Olajuwon because I did admire him so much as someone who came from Africa. Did so well, represent the continent so well, and made us look good. As being the third African players to come from the continent to the NBA, it was very special to me. And Patrick Ewing, someone who took me to his wing and helped me develop to becoming a great basketball player that I did become. He had a lot to do with my game. And playing against those guys, they helped me to becoming the Dikembe Mutombo I am today.
And so Elijah Wan, you mentioned Elijah Wan. Now, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, you surpassed Akeem, and you came into the second spot behind Elijah Wan as the defensive player with the most block
The
shots.
most block shot. Yes, is that special? Because in life, you have to dream. You cannot wake up every day in life without having some ambition, something special that you want to accomplish. And I know from watching you working for your team, we saw what you dream about, accomplish, bringing something exciting in the city of Philadelphia, making the team win, putting a group of people that can work with you. And we as a player as well, we have that same ambition. And myself, I have the ambition that I want to becoming one of the great defense players that play this game. And I work hard despite being surrounded by great coaches who push me very hard. I also have to push myself. And I have to think, reflect myself on what I was doing in the basketball court. And I think I did it so well.
Oh, you did it beautifully. So you took that ambition, even during the NBA. Like, we
Yes.
talk about this Sporting News #1 good guy. You were always a good guy. You were always a philanthropist. You were always a humanitarian. You always gave. Where did that gene come from?
I would say that a lot got to do with my mother and father. I come from a very deep Christian family. Both of my grandparents, from my mom's side and my dad's side, was pastors. My four grandfather was a church planter. My father was a deacon. My mom was a choir singer. So they brought us on a devoting way about care, love each other, and look after your neighbor, and be devoted to the society. And I came to understand in my life that I need to find a way to live in a comfort zone with the people around me and be happy despite what I have. And be happy, and that was something I continue to live with.
And you took your parents' insight and DNA,
Yes.
and you've taken that into the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation. And what is the mission of the foundation?
The mission is to improve the living condition of the people in Africa, especially in Democratic Republic of Congo. By doing so, I devote so much money and so much time of my life by building a brand new hospital,
And what is the name of that hospital?
Dikembe Mutombo Hospital, which is named after my late mother. After she passed away, because she could not make it to the hospital because there was no ambulance services. And now we went there. Last year, we built a brand new school from kindergarten to 12th grade. And then we open our phase 6th grade. And then we hope that the school will produce some of the best elites for our future society. And those are our goals that we are working on. And giving back, I think it should be in everyone's DNA, because you don't get where you are in life by yourself. There's always somebody got something to do with you getting where you are in life. It can be your mother, it can be your dad, it can be your grandparents, your uncle, somebody that walked through your life that inspired. Because nobody just wake up every day and say, I want to get there. You have to see somebody who have gone that far. And you want to say, I want to go far past him. Because people always talk about, how did you be going to becoming one of the great defense players of the history of the game? Because I was lucky to see another African guy, Akeem Olajuwon, who came from Africa as a young man, went to school in America, went into becoming one of the great defense players ever played this game. Then I told myself, and I reflect so much in my life, I say, if this man can get as far as it did. Why not me? So I went and did it. I know you who reflect on it because
Yeah,
we're talking about me.
but it's beautiful.
Who inspire you in their life? Who you have something to do with as far as you did go in your life?
Well, I'll make it very brief. My
Yes.
father was the disciplinarian, and my mother had the DNA of PMA, positive mental attitude. You can do that. So I just believed, but it was about discipline and hard work, like you're
Yes.
talking about, but also having the belief system that I can do this. If he can do it or she can do it, then I can do it. And that's what you've done for not only NBA players, but people in general, but the countries, but the world. You've created a hospital. And I'd like to touch on, because this is the American Cancer Society's
Yes.
movement, the cases of cervical cancer,
Breast cancer, name a few.
and how how effective, or how is the hospital and the medical expertise that you've unleashed since, what was it, 2009?
2009, 2007, that's when I opened in 2007.
Have you seen, or what kind of difference have you seen since the hospital's open with the occurrence of cervical cancer?
And I'm glad that you touched on that because many people in life consider cancer as a death sentence. They don't see it as a disease that they can beat. And I'm glad that the world, our scientists and our spiritual leaders have come together to make people understand that cancer is a disease, but you can beat it like other disease. But you have to be mentally strong for you to fight your cancer. And you have to be surrounded also by people who love you, care for you, who want to make sure that you get to the other side of the tunnel.
Oh.
And many women in particular in Africa who get diagnosed by cancer, millions of women, they don't see the light in the end of the tunnel. They see the darkness. And for me, knowing that there's so many people who are dying in a young age in the continent of Africa, especially mothers and grandmothers, aunties, and sisters, I felt like I was mandated to do something when it comes to cancer. We opened the hospital in 2007. We started seeing women with cancer, large amount of tissue on their breasts, large amount of cancer numbers on cervical cancer. But we didn't have equipment to diagnose those women and to save them. We didn't have a treatment center. We didn't have a chemotherapy. So I was forced to go outside, look for money, look for somebody who can come in and help us, help my people, especially in general, to find a way to have a better life. And
Who'd you find?
I was invited by the ambassador Cindy McCain, our late Senator McCain's wife, to come to the ranch in Sedona, Arizona. Then there was a man sitting on a podium, and there was like, Dikembe, come meet this guy. I was like, who's that? It was Howard Buffett. And Howard Buffett, the son of the Buffett himself.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. And the son was sitting there. And they said, maybe you and him can work together to improve the living condition of the people in Africa, because Howard is doing so much thing in Africa. And I went there and talked to him. He said, wow, you from Congo? What are you doing there? He said, I'm doing some stuff on cancer, but I don't have funding. I'm not playing basketball no more, so I don't have that type of money that I can cut a check. He said, I'll give you some money. And I want to make sure where the money go, make sure it's spent properly, make sure that all those women get access to cancer treatment and then you have a doctor that can be trained in the U.S. that can take over the program after he leaves. And he put a couple $millions in, and we trained some of my local doctors, and he brought some American doctors from University of North Carolina, University of Arkansas, University of Michigan. They went there every year and trained our Congolese doctors. And today we have an entire team that are continue to perform the same thing. It's
So
great.
give us the differential from 2007 when you realized that this incidence of cancer, women's cancer, cervical, breast cancer, is off the charts.
Yes.
Now. Where are we?
It took my 10 years to get where we were. And today we have treated more than like 30, no, we see like about 30 some plus thousand women every year that are receiving treatment at the Mutombo Hospital.
30,000 a year.
Yes.
That prior
And
to
for
that-
free.
Whoa.
Okay, let's finish the sentence. Our treatment cancer at the hospital is for free. The screening of cancer is for free. That you don't see it. We have good people in the U.S. who love Mutombo, who have been donating money so we can go in and take care of those women who are suffering from cancer in the continent.
That's beautiful.
It's great.
That's truly beautiful. And so the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation,
Yes.
how can people help?
Oh, I always scared when I say, how can the people help? And I always ask people, look at your heart and tell us what your heart is telling you. How can you help us? What can you give us? Because a man like me, if I say I want to ask somebody for help, it can be larger. Yes, so we have the cancer treatment to treat someone, to diagnose some of those women that cost us like $40, $50, and some of the surgery that costs like an hour more than $300-400 to diagnose some of the women, to do some surgery. Some of the operation costs more. So it depends on the money that they want to spend. But anybody,
Excuse me, I can hear that.
anybody who want to give us 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, a million, they're more welcome.
And do they
Little bit can make a
Oh,
difference.
totally. Do they go to Dikembe Mutombo Foundation.com?
.com to make the donation.
Beautiful. Now let's stay right there because I want to bring in, I have no idea what time it is. I want to bring in Dr. Erika Rees-Punia. You're going to love this research scientist. She's in Atlanta and she's the one who's heading up our HEALED. So the money that we're raising through
Yes.
ACSHEALED.com, it's going to Erika. Now we want to know, what is she doing?
Definitely.
Erika, are you there? Let's see. That's good. Okay, so we have the 6ABC crew here. This is a different platform we're using because we have Dikembe live here at Meditation Hill outside Philadelphia, and we have Dr. Erika Rees-Punia in Atlanta.
Yes. Can you
We're
hear
working
me?
on her microphone right now.
Well, tell her just to interrupt us then.
Okay.
You just, Erika, when you come on, just interrupt us in the interim.
All right.
We're just going to hang out, Dikembe and
Okay.
myself, because I just love being with this man. So
Thank
tell me
you.
about the global portion of of the MBA. What the MBA has. I know David Stern, who I love, and I love Adam Silver. David Stern was there when I came in, and I had to kiss his
Yes.
ring when I was first coming in. He's thinking, who is this brash young guy with the little goatee? But I loved him. He let me be me.
Yes.
And so, tell me about the ambassador, the global ambassador for the MBA.
Being a global ambassador comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of work and a lot of hours of traveling because you are mandated to almost be everywhere around the world that the world needs you, or where the game trying to grow and or where we are trying to grow the games. And those are the challenges that I have.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I'm kind of used to it. I can get on the plane for 18 hours straight.
Okay. Is there
Fly
anything
to
I should try?
Singapore or 15 hours to Shanghai or 18 hours to Joburg. It's a part of my work. And I think the
Yeah.
Commissioner Adam and
I'm
our
talking
late Commissioner David, they have allowed me to do such a good job, and they appreciate what I've been doing.
Oh, who wouldn't appreciate it? Then you have to unfold yourself out of an airplane seat. 7'2" of you. Oh my goodness. I think we have Erika now. Do we get to see Erika or just hear her? You'll see her and hear her.
okay, guys. Can you hear me?
Erika, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I think they,
You can hear her in the broadcast.
Let's see.
Set. Give us one
You
more
guys
second.
there?
you
That's
know,
okay.
I tell you that when it comes to technical, we have to leave it to somebody else.
So tell us, aside from your global ambassador position,
Yes.
aside from the foundation, what else is keeping you of hobby interests? What are you doing with
I
yourself?
think that we have the new league in Africa right now. It's called
Tell me about it.
Basketball African League, which is sponsored by the NBA. We worked very hard. We raised about $1 billion to start the league. The league started last year. We played our first tournament last year. Now we're in the second year. I just came from Egypt where we play our second part of the tournament because we started in Senegal, which each team played more than 6 games. Then we came to the second round. Now we are going to the final after next week to Kigali.
So are you the commissioner?
I'm not, I am an investor.
Oh, you're an investor of the league?
I'm an investor and also a global ambassador, so I carry 2 titles.
How many teams?
Right now we start with 12. Our goal one day to get to more than 20 some plus teams.
And then is this a proven ground for future
I hear
NBA
that.
players?
We have some of the former NBA players who are playing in, and we have some of the young guys who are coming from the NBA Academy who are mandated to also to play to each team. And we have 2 Americans who are mandated also to play in each team to have a chance maybe to come to the NBA. So we
How
do
great is that? Do we have Erika?
I think we do. Okay, let's punch Erika up and go and
How fun's this? This is an adventure. I
This
love
is
this.
great.
I used to say, when's the last time you did something for the first time? Well, it's the first time to be with you in 21 years.
I know I've not seen you in ages, man. It's a while. I know people are looking at us here and they're like, there they are. They're still hanging together.
Here we go. Still
After this picture here.
okay, she's up.
Let's see.
Erika, are you there?
I'm here. Well, I'm here, but am I there?
Yes, she is.
I can't hear
I
anything.
know, you can't, but the audience can. So I'm going to relay what she's saying to you. It's not elegant, but it's going to work.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Technology.
Can you hear her?
No.
Okay.
Sure.
So, Erika, I can't hear you, but the producers will relay your answers. But would you please give us an update on the HEALED research being conducted now with that $2 million that we raised from all those great, caring people?
Yes. First and foremost, this has been great so far. It's so interesting, and I love the work that's going on. And second, and most importantly, thank you so much for all of the donations you've made. It's allowed us to do this work that we weren't sure if we were going to be able to do, especially with the pandemic. So yeah, we've spent the last year planning every tiny single little detail of our website and our study. And we are less than 1 month away from inviting all of our participants. June 1st, the invite email goes out. So we're totally ready to go. We're ahead of schedule. Everybody is ready. We've got everything down to a T, and we are ready to go. We are really excited and looking forward to officially launching the HEALED study.
Have the 400 candidates in a variety of diagnoses of cancer? Do you have them all selected?
Yes. List list of people that we're going to be inviting to our study. So we've got one thing that makes the study special among several things is we have both men and women, unlike a lot of studies, which tend to just focus on one or the other. And we have survivors of breast, colon, bladder, kidney, endometrial cancers, and multiple myeloma. And this also makes our study special too, because we're hitting a variety of survivors of cancers that are associated with physical inactivity. Of course, having this 1 year long study, which is great for a number of reasons. We'll be able to study long-term changes in physical activity, and we'll also be able to study some outcomes that take a little bit more time to change, like cognitive function. But the best part of all, really, of this study is that after this year-long study is over, if it's successful, our long-term goal is to make the website freely available via our ACS channels. And the hope is that we can help to get cancer survivors all across the world moving more and sitting less. And this will benefit both their physical and mental health.
This will benefit their physical and mental health.
And so the update on the website, how far are you all from launching the website?
Yes, the website is done. It is completely done. I'm so excited to say. So once we invite all of our participants in a month, we'll do a couple of tests, some data collection to sort of understand their baseline measures of things like how active are they now? What's their cognitive function like now? Are they sleeping well now? Before we expose them to the website. And the hope is we'll measure throughout the year-long study to see if we can find any changes because of the website in those measures as we go along. So we're going to be introducing people to the website a couple weeks after the invite, but it is totally done and ready to go.
Erika, for Dikembe's sake and for everyone who's listening who may not have seen you on the gathering over the past year, tell them exactly what HEALED plans to do with every cancer diagnosis. After you've been diagnosed, after you've been treated, surgery, chemo, radiation, what is the intent of this website?
Yeah, that is a great question because it's our hope that we will be able to have people have access that's free, online, simple to use, so that they can become more active. We know that cancer survivors, around 70%, are not meeting our physical activity guidelines. And this is a problem because we know that physical activity is associated with fewer feelings of anxiety, less fatigue, and really just overall better quality of life in cancer survivors in particular. So we want to improve that rate. We want to get more cancer survivors active by using this website to help them feel more safe, more motivated, and more supported in living a more active life.
Isn't that beautiful? Dikembe, it's almost a metaphor for what you're doing with your hospital. You're taking all these ladies and using the screening for cancer, the treatment of cancer, using US protocols and bringing them to the Congo so that these deaths don't occur at the rate that they were 10 years ago. You can see that Erika wants to do the same thing. Once you've been diagnosed with cancer, get off the couch.
That's the problem that we've seen in so many impoverished countries around the globe, that so many women, also men, who have been diagnosed with cancer, they don't have no hope because nobody's telling them where to go next. You can get diagnosis, but somebody gotta guide you where you gotta go for your treatment. If that center is offering only diagnosis, but they're not offering treatment, it can be another big death sentence for those who have been diagnosed. And we've been able to combine all those treatment in the same place, allow those women to have a better future, to believe that I didn't come here because it's the end of the day. I came here because I'm going to see tomorrow.
Oh, that's a beautiful line. Say it again.
I didn't come here because this is the end of the day. I came here because I believe that I'm going to see tomorrow. And to see those mother, auntie, sister, grandma, cousins who walk into the hospital, who go to all those type of treatment they will go to, and you see them going home, it's amazing. And that will bring a lot of smile to me. That I am contributing to the society, and I'm also making a difference.
You're totally making a difference. Erika, Dr. Erika Rees-Punia, do you have a question? One question that I think we have time for from Erika in Atlanta to Dikembe here at Meditation Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I was so interested to hear in all of the work that you're doing. And of course, as a physical activity researcher, someone who studies the benefits of exercise, I know that tend to be a lot of differences culturally in the understanding of the importance of physical activity, especially after a cancer diagnosis. And so I'm actually curious about what in general have you seen for your patients, and what is their understanding of physical activity? Do they, tend to participate in physical activity? Do they understand that it's beneficial for them, especially as cancer survivors? In particular, the women that you mentioned.
Yeah, so that's a good question, Doc. The first physical activity, because the only way they get to the hospital are walking. The only way they go home and they walk. The only way they go to the market, they have to walk. They take the kids by walking. So that already extra activity that they get, which is part of the routine of their life. Even going to the bathroom, which is not inside the house, they have to leave the house and walk all the way in the back of the house to go to the bathroom. So there's already some activities. And I think only issue that we have seen with our patient is about the diet. The food that they eat at home are not really what's required for a patient with cancer. And we've been working very hard with some of the patients to try to guide them to a good nutrition, but it's a little bit difficult because those people, they don't have all the means necessary for them to survive on a daily basis.
Erika, I'm going to have to say goodbye to you. Thank you for joining us here. It's Dr. Erika Rees-Punia and joining us from Atlanta. And we're going to continue. We will be having these community gatherings every quarter. And so we want to see where the website is, how the 400 patients are progressing in the research. And before I let you go, Dikembe,
yes, sir.
I want you to give to our audience from your heart something that can motivate them for today.
Only thing I tell patients with cancer or anyone who's going through any type of treatment, the question remains about having hope. Because hope that's the only thing that will kill you. Hope that will make you believe that your chance to see tomorrow is much higher. Hope that you know that our forces from resistance outside of us, our God and our mighty God, will continue to heal you. And know that the people care about you because you're in a good place. By you being in a presence where there's a treatment, you know that I'm better because there are more million people around the world who don't have access even to see a doctor. So keep faith very high, keep believing in yourself, and God will heal you.
Beautiful. Speaking of God, I end every gathering with a prayer. It's a simple prayer. It's a prayer not of a petitionary prayer asking for anything. It's a prayer, an attitude of gratitude. And so what I would like for all of us just to pay attention to these simple words. Thank you for the grace in helping me welcome what is happening right now. To all of you, peace. Thank you, Dikembe Mutombo.
Thank you for I love you too, man. Good to see you, my brother. It's been a while. My neighbor, I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you in this beautiful place. Thank you. We're good?
Sorry about the technical difficulties, but